Here's a little tip for you: don't always expect the big boys like Amazon to give you the best price. This is the fuel tank kit from Fowler, which I have been looking at to add to my other tanks to make a little fuel terminal scene. £51.48, and it's even sold out. But my usual smaller store that I buy a few bits and pieces from, Knock and Fowler, that's quite a significant saving. Not just Amazon that are guilty of this, but here we go. Ford Hampton the Gauge Master range. Again, a sort of model shop selling through Amazon, £43.99. The same kit made by Fowler, who actually rebrand them and supply them to Gauge Master, £28. Now, it doesn't always work that way, but generally I've found it does. The only exception has been the Gauge Master silos, which are, when you can find them in the right place, cheaper than buying the Fowler branded version, but only by £1 or £2. We're talking a few quid here, aren't we? 28, 44. Who is this little gem that I know of? They also, as you can see, stock a huge range of Knock figures. They do some Fowler ones as well, but I've got the Knock bulk pack of unpainted figures, which I think is about 72 figures for, I think it was less than £15, which, you know, they are better printed or better moulding than the cheap Chinese ones that are a few quid that are painted, but these sets are cheaper than you may find them in a lot of other model shops, and they have, as you can see, quite a comprehensive selection. Even the sexy scenes ones, we haven't better tell Al at Dragon Junction. Might be adding some more to his layout. But yeah, there's a load of little cameo scenes here, some dearer than others, but the company are these ones. You can see they're not just specifically for model railway, they do slot cars and scale electric and all sorts of stuff. But I found them pretty keen on prices, even after the sort of Brexit price increases from the German stuff. They're pretty favourable. But it doesn't always work out that way, as I said. I've just bought another set of the silos, the Gauge Master silos, which I had got off Amazon previously with a voucher discount, which is what made me go back, because they've sent me another one. £5 off anything I spend over £15, but it's got to be sold by Amazon. And the Gauge Master silo kit is in stock at, now gone up £5 to £24.95, so it would cost me 20 quid. Top slots trains, £15. Guess which one I bought? So there will be a few pounds spent this time on top slots trains, because a few of the kits are quite keenly priced for the oil terminal, and I've just bought another one on eBay that I gave the guy an offer of £20 and he declined it, or he countered it at 25. I didn't bother. He got it for 27 as a starting bid. He'd got a couple of other kits on there, and he was actually asking about £40 more than I could find it from top slots trains. But then other companies are asking considerably more money for the oil tank farm, which is like the biggest storage tanks. So I've bought the small one off of him for £20. I went on my other account to do some feedback and searched for it, and it had been relisted, so I made an offer of again £20, and this time he accepted it. So that will be winging its way through along with the top slots order, so I'll go through that. So I should have enough now with my Bachmann tanks to build an oil terminal, and I'll have 4 grain silos, so we'll have a grain storage facility, which will require some scratch building to build in incorporate some kind of rail served crane facility. Because unlike the US, it's not a particularly common thing. There is one local to me which I think may have been built with a view to being rail served, because it was right by an old siding that went to the sugar beet factory, but it never came to fruition. So obviously in the world of modelling it can be. But anyway, not everything cheap is a success. I hummed and hawed over some traffic lights, and I found some that were including the 3-head for the cars and the 2-head for pedestrian crossing, which, as you recall, I've already built a Belisha crossing. So I ordered some eventually. Postage was a bit thing, but it put it up to less than £10 for that. A pair of these. So you've got the 3 and the 2 for pedestrian and all the various little wires. It turned up very poorly wrapped in that thin foam packaging, more like paper, in one of the famous AliExpress plastic bags. The head was broken off. Not a major thing. I did manage to glue it on, but I photographed it before I glued it on in case it was a fail, and opened a dispute. But this is where the but caveat is. I will show you a picture of what is advertised versus what I got. Now, as you can see, they're a little bit over scale. I knew they would be. There is a sort of limit to what can be done. Now, I'm not sure whether this is HO or 00. Traffic heads are quite large. I used to change the lamps on them, but bear with me and I will intersect the pictures of what was advertised versus what I've got, which is now what I'm fighting on the dispute. They've offered me half the money back, but I said, well, because only one's broken. Well, that's no good, is it? If one's broken, you don't get a refund for half. You've got to buy another pair to replace the broken one. Obviously, I'm not going to buy these because they're not what I purchased. So, this could be a little bit of a fight. You do have to put a little bit of a fight into AliExpress disputes over, say, something like eBay. But I have some more bags here, so let's see what else we've got. Ooh, in a nice little satin bag. I nearly cut the bottom off because it's a bit tight in the packaging. Bugger. Christ, no wonder women take so long getting ready to go out. It takes that much effort to get into your makeup bag. Yes, yes. I'm not going to do a... Yeah, cheap weathering brushes. Nice smooth. Well, that one needs a bit of a trim. So, yeah, we're not going to start wearing makeup for the videos. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I could do with a bit of filler, I guess, but yeah. Look at them fluffy puffies. Clean my lens on my camera. Very nice there if I want to do a little bit, or whatever you call it. Anyway, yeah, cheap makeup brushes were £3.61 to the door for 13-piece brush set, which obviously won't be used for makeup. Sorry to disappoint the wife. She needs a trowel anyway. So in one bag contains another 2, and in another bag contains another 3. Okay, maybe the confusion's cleared. I haven't got into the other ones, but we got a set of HO wheel trucks, or bogies as we call them, which again were below £10, I think. They were less than Eve model. We've all heard of them, haven't we? Or Everest model, depending on where you go and what name they're using. 15% off your first order on our website. Unless they got a direct one, Eve Modeler. So yeah, as you probably remember on my previous video, there's a couple of of the HO wagons I bought have got either wheels missing or a whole truck assembly, so I bought a whole pack. So hopefully they're not complete crap. And this is not strictly railway related. It's a big LED bulb to go in my lamp to improve the lighting in the room. Whether you can notice any difference? It's called a UFO bulb because it's saucer shaped. Take 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yes, well, you're going to start thinking strange things. Nail art pens and brushes. Nail art brushes for doing obviously very small artwork on, no, not my nails, for the little people from Scale 3D. They have got very finite brushes one end, and on the other end you've just got little steel baubles. So you just get a little tipple of paint and spot on for doing very minute details. I used to use something similar to that years ago when we was making defence components and we had a colour code and you had to put little dots on it. So I got those. The other one was 2 little flashlight modules. What's happened to the camera exposure there? They are for the traffic lights. You wire in your LEDs and it does the sequence. Little LED light sequence. And for weathering, 100 the eyeshadow brushes. Same thing they charge at £2, £3.39 for 100 of those disposable little foam brushes. So I've got a pack of those as well. So if anything else, I'm going to have lovely makeup and eyes even if I don't build a railway.